Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Endpoint. I'm David Rastatter here from Jitterbit, and today I'd like to welcome Greg Belkin. Greg, welcome today.
Thanks for having me, David.
Greg, we're really excited. So you just launched spearheaded a new State of Automation report called 2023, The State of Automation, How Low-Code Application Platforms Disrupt the IT Status Quo and Ignite Digital Growth. And we're really excited to hear some of the findings that you had from that.
Yeah, sounds good. I can't wait to get into it.
So first question for you, what was the main objective of the survey and the ebook?
Yeah, so David, the goal of the report, the ebook, the survey was really to determine how LCAP solutions are being viewed, adopted, prioritized for both IT and line of business individuals. And there's been a lot of talk about low code and no code and the effect that it's having on the industry. And what we've seen is that these applications really do a great job of taking a lot of the pressure off of IT and allowing the business folks to get in there, get their hands dirty, and really start to build these applications. And they're the folks that really want these applications done. They've got the critical push that they really want to get going. And so that's their priority. And so what we wanted to do is test our hypothesis and survey the industry and get really kind of a reality check of where they stand and how they feel about these applications.
So it's really cool that with this low code spin that the users are actually part of the development process.
Yeah. That's what makes it really interesting. Is traditionally, IT has really had the burden of managing all of these applications and making sure that they're consistent, they're secure, and now there's a way for the business folks to get in there, take control of the application building process while still keeping IT happy, because they are also being very cognizant of security issues, and it's all being done in a controlled environment. Not that IT isn't involved, they are, but really the bulk of the work hands over to the line of business, and that makes a real big difference for everybody.
Yeah, has technology changed where now the users are taking a big seat at the table with the development of it. So back to the report, what are the two main findings of this report?
So there's a couple of really interesting findings in there, David. First off, one of the central question we asked is how important is low code application building to an organization's automation strategy, and how much of a priority is it? And we asked this question a couple different ways, and we actually got some very consistent answers. First of all, we found that 85% of survey respondents said that these low code applications are a top priority. 84% linked those low code application buildings to their automation strategy. So interesting to see it consistent. Interesting to see that it was similar for both of these responses, and interesting to see just how much of a priority it is. I mean, finding 85% of people to agree on anything is miraculous these days. But to see it consistent over a technology that's relatively speaking kind of still on its way up is really, really amazing. The other thing we saw that we really wanted to get into is how was IT feeling about these applications within the enterprise. If I were in IT, I'm in marketing, but if I were in IT and I was used to a job that I've been doing for years and years, then all of a sudden somebody told me that my responsibilities would be shifted somewhere else to help make my life easier, I'd be both thrilled and nervous at the same time. And we wanted to really understand how that was playing out for these IT folks. What we found is that over half of IT respondents either very or very, very extremely comfortable with employees, outside of IT using these platforms. Now, obviously, that it really kind of depends on who you ask within IT, but generally speaking, to see that kind of comfort level, over half of IT respondents is really remarkable. And we also discovered that they said that they have some concerns, things that that they want to make sure that are hit, like data security, accessibility issues, ability to solve big problems. I mean, these are all things that they're thinking about, they're a little concerned about, but that's natural. By and large, they were very excited about and very supportive of non-IT folks using applications to further their business goals and having them much more removed from the process.
Awesome. Awesome. So one more question for you. How do HR and marketing departments feel about low code solutions? That's the first part. And then are these solutions heavily prioritized for these line of business users?
Yeah. So, interestingly enough, we found some very remarkable results from both our HR respondents and our marketing respondents. We found that 89% of HR and 87% of marketing, so pretty close to each other, they consider to be a high or very high priority to build these low code, to use these low code applications and to build applications that are going to extend the data to where they need to go. And to me, that makes all the sense in the world, right? I mean, if you're in HR, you've got a lot of pressure around, recruiting the right folks, bringing them in properly, proper onboarding, managing all of their needs as they grow and, learning and development. And oftentimes there's a sense that the data that they need to make big decisions is not flowing to the right place in their department and to the enterprise. And so they put all this pressure on HR, on IT, and then IT, is trying to help them achieve their goals, but oftentimes it's difficult and they get put into a waiting list. So HR, very big proponents of LCAP and low code. Same thing in marketing, 87% of marketing executives. And again, I'm a marketing guy. It's my passion. And I can tell you that there's a lot of data and a lot of science in addition to that art for making good marketing related decisions, and getting access to that data is really critical. So those are kind of the big ahas from those two groups.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you for your time, Greg. I'm sure we'll be hearing more and more about this report, and I really appreciate you answering the questions we had today. And if you have any other questions, feel free to use the comments box on this post to ask questions, and we'll definitely get to you. Also, don't forget to follow us on our social channels. And with that, I'm David Rastatter from Jitterbit signing out. Thanks, Greg, for joining us today. Have a good night, a good afternoon, and an even better morning. Bye-bye.
Sounds good. Thanks, David.